Hey, welcome. Let's move that microphone a little closer. Hi, welcome. Minnie B, Beth, hello. We're gonna try to bust our way through announcements tonight because we got some ground to cover and things of that sort. We've got a Discord. You should come hang out there. There's lots of cool people on the Discord. We've also got a merch store, and you can buy cool stuff from the merch store and support the brand. Every little bit helps here. With all of the bits that you donate and the subscriptions and the stuff, it helps us upgrade our equipment and do great things. Every single cent that you plug into the channel goes back to all of you. This is a fully interactive game. There's plenty of ways that you can use your hard-earned channel points and biddies to influence. You can dress up Strahd. You can grant level ups. The super awesome bag of cool stuff is available once again for a player that they will be able to sort of utilize to the best of their ability.
I want Strahd to be summoned and dressed like you. That's all I want. That'd be hilarious.
Somebody's got to buy it. Upcoming schedule for this week. You can catch us here for some fun shenanigans on Sundays. On Tuesday, we continue our Star Wars one-shot, and we fight Darth Vader on Tuesday. It's going to be a good time. Did I stat Darth Vader for 5e? Yes, I did. Is it terrifying? Yes, he is. So tune in for that. Wednesday is Unbroken Veil, New Orleans, where you can check out modern-day magic, myth, and monsters as the group heads to Eureka. My love letter to the show Eureka, which Indigo Chameleon and I have been watching, and we're going to do that. And speaking of Indigo, look at these amazing players. That's on Wednesday. On Thursday, we finally finish off our Campbell Keep Mysteries one-shot. It's been super emotional with Mother of Cats leading this little story, and it's just been a great time. And Thursday nights, as Mother of Cats announced last week, she's going to be taking over, and your boy gets to play. No longer forever DM, just sometimes DM. It's going to be
DM.
3/4. I like that.
He's on Snap.
3/4 DM. So tune in for that. What's up, Yummy the Dragon Girl? It is Strahd time. Every time. Ain't no party like a Strahd party, because a Strahd party is demented. So tune in for that on Thursday, and then Sunday, as always, is Strahd Sux. Not only are we doing cool stuff on the channel, but you can check out Cassandra Cosplays. Hi.
That's me. Hi.
How did your fundraiser for the Trevor Project go?
It was great. We did a fundraiser for the Trevor Project last night, which helps LGBTQ plus and trans youths. We had a really great time. We raised a lot of money. The fundraiser is still up on mine and everyone else's who participated. Their Instagrams and our bios. So if you missed it, but you still want to donate to a good cause, you can check out our bios. Mine is Cassandra Cosplays. That's all I have to say. Yep.
I'm sorry, the cadence of your voice made it sound like you were going to say more after that.
Sure did, my brain said.
It did.
We're done.
I'm glad that wasn't just me, because I was like,
nope.
No, we're stopping there. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Brain said, and scene.
Cassandra Cosplays does amazing cosplays, so please tune in and help support her in her many misadventures and things of that sort. But if you also want to listen to some fun D&D stuff, if you want some good auditory adventure, you can listen to Jousting Through Jacinto. Patches, tell us about your cool show.
So Jousting Through Jacinto, we're going through our second arc right now. Episodes are hidden every Wednesday on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Come find us where your listening capabilities might be. We're hitting a nice little peak. We found some not so nice things and some things that cross with some really not so nice things. So someone might die, murder, romance, intrigue. Come find us.
That was beautiful, pal. Feel free to pull that audio if you want to use that to advertise your show. But as always, stay tuned to the Discord for the coolest projects that are coming up from some of our creators. When last we left our heroes, you all had encountered Chance. Chance is a luck vampire that is Connie's brother, and he explained a little bit. I would encourage all of you to go back and watch that episode, because some good lore dropping there. When it came to Pyre's sort of ancestral home, he had a a totem that was taken from there, the fire that sort of powered and drove everything of her Fire Genasi people. And there was a large battle that took place with individuals trying to hurt Chance, but the group bandied together and have now found safety inside of the home of Chance, the Burgermeister, for all of Barovia. And I think that's what happened last time. The only
wall.
The broke a wall. The only other thing I want to say is happy birthday, Magnolia.
Thanks.
The sun is shining on a beautiful field of greens, blues, and lavenders. The sounds of children's laughter echo throughout the distance. Unmitigated joy is felt by not only energy vampires, but everyone that passes through the golden archway before you all. It is a circus, but it is more than a circus. It is a experience. You see, you all have forged this circus. Whether you think you did or not, each of you have added something to it. You've taken parts of yourself to add a little bit of mischief, a little bit of care, a little bit of power to make sure that those that don't have it, have it. You built something together. And even in a place as dark as this one, even in a place where the sun very rarely shines in the sky, where colors are muted and the prevailing color is that of gray nothingness, at the end of the day, before that long rest, no matter if you pass on from this world or live through it, all of you remember that moment, because it happened at different points for all of you where you felt connected together, part of something bigger, where you were the shining beacon on a cold gray night, and children, adults, everyone would be drawn to you because they could not help but be pushed towards the warmth that you radiate. That's all a hero is. Every game of D&D that we play, that sense of warmth, that sense of belonging, we all crave it. We all want it. And you brought that to the masses every night. And not once did it get boring. Not once did you look at the worlds you were creating, the thousands of laughters that you would elicit from individuals, the stunts, the gasps, the hurt boo-boos that you would help heal, the individuals that you had to push aside and give a smile to the kids and know that you were taking the hit so that no one's entertainment was stopped one time. All of you, hold on to that. So as dark as Barovia gets, and as gray as the sky becomes, in that moment between sleep and awake, there is always the golden arches beckoning you, that splash of color, and that field, that beautiful field where anything is possible, of greens and blues and indigos. He said the thing. He said the name of the thing. You all find yourself settling down to rest in the Burgermeister's mansion. All of you find spots, I imagine, somewhat close to the radiating warmth and heat of this giant circular spear, this lava lamp of sorts, which has the lava sort of rotating about it. Not only is it temperature-wise a bit of warmth, but it radiates that same sort of feeling that all of you have spent the majority of your time in Barovia chasing. That sense of belonging, that sense of peace, that sense of warmth, the sense of family that may have been taken from you at a young age, that you may have had to sacrifice to help those that were blood, but that you have spent the years cultivating and crafting, which makes it somehow even more powerful than the family that you were born with, because this is yours. You grew this plant from the ground up. Heroes, you also take a little bit of time to rest. What is everybody doing before you settle down for a long rest?
I would like to pull Connie aside.
Okay. A few other individuals, you're welcome to go get a little bit of food. Chance is not far away. Chance is actually sitting in a chair not too far away from you guys. because you all are guests in the home and things of that sort, he is saying that he's going to rest here in the main sort of area with you all tonight, so that if you need him at any point, or if the gods forbid attackers come and attack the house again, like, you all will have a chance to, he can be at the forefront of it. So yeah, it's not too hard to pull Connie aside into a small drawing room off.
Hey,
Connie.
what's up?
Several things.
Okay.
I happened upon your brother whilst he wasn't aware that anyone was there. And he was talking to someone in a mirror. And he was saying things like, they're here, she's safe. I have no idea what they were saying, but he is in contact with someone in that mirror. And I know he's your brother, but I'm not quite sure where his allegiances lie. He was brought here to save himself from a situation where he was before. And he's clearly working with someone. I just need you to know that he is in contact with somebody. I don't know who it is. The worst case scenario is it probably could be Strahd. I'm not saying it is, but we need to be open to the possibility.
Do you think it's Strahd?
I'm not sure. The language that he was using, it does sound like he was keeping tabs. He did expect us to be here. And he was reporting sort of our situation.
I can talk to him and see what I can find out, if you want me to.
All right.
Yeah, I'll see what, I mean, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen him in so long. I don't know what he's been up to, but, I mean, it seems like if he was friends with Strahd, then Strahd wouldn't have sent the vampires to come kill him.
But wouldn't that be what you would do to throw off suspicion? I mean, he
It's
didn't take
clever.
any hits, did he?
It's clever. He didn't take any hits.
I'm so sorry.
I heard it on the wind.
But he didn't take any hits because I jumped in front of him and
Yes, but also, do you know why he's so lucky?
it's his gift. He's got a magic gift, and so there were 3 of us,
Yes.
and each of us have different gifts, but they're also dangerous, and so that's his though, is luck.
And do you know who gives it to him?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who gives my power to me.
Yeah. So it's not just really a him situation, but more of a him and her situation.
Her?
Yeah. Well.
What do you mean?
Well, he's currently apparently engaged to the goddess of luck, who is also inhabiting his body at the same time.
You should have led with that.
Look, there's a lot to unpack
Okay.
here. It is the goddess of luck, and when I say I barely escaped with my life,
Well, maybe he was talking to her in the mirror then, if she's in...
I don't believe that's what it was, because she came forward when he was asleep, and he had mentioned that he needs to stay awake because she comes forward when he's asleep, from what I gathered. Just wanted to let you know that there are 2 inhabiting the same body, and she's got a bit of a temper.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to him and see what I can find out.
Third, are you sure that that is him?
That's my brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Now, I understand that he, from what I gathered from watching him fight, he takes damage that is intended also for the people that are being attacked. But his arms were much older. He took off his robe, and his arms are much older than the rest of his body, and I can't see how that would be related.
I'll find out.
Which makes
Okay.
me a bit nervous that I'm thinking perhaps this has something to do with his father. My personal feelings aside, and my history aside, I know I'm a bit paranoid when it comes to this, but I just want you to really make sure that that's who you think it is.
I will. Thanks for letting me know. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's him, and like, I would trust him with my life if it's really him. So, but I'll talk to him and
Okay.
find out what's going on with the goddess of luck in his arms and the mirror.
Just be careful with her. She's got a bit of a temper.
Okay.
I truly respect you, Connie, and I just want you to go into this. I know this is a lot to deal with because you've not seen him in a long time, and I just wanted to make sure you're prepared just in case.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
yeah. Anyway, this is a lot of responsibility and being responsible for me. So,
I know. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I know there's like a lot of stuff with the fire and
Yeah.
what happened with Chance's dad. You.
yeah,
okay?
no, I'm not. But definitely not. But there's a lot going on with everybody, and you know, for once I feel like I've got to be strong and put on a face for everyone else at the moment. So you know, just try not to break down in front of everyone. So I'm going to go put on my smiley face. You're the only one really who I've let to know how much this emotional damage has hit me, but I wanted to make sure you're prepared. Just in case.
If you need someone to listen to, I'm a good listener. Or to talk to, I'm a good listener. It might hurt a little bit though if you get too emotional.
So if I like sort of take a moment of weakness, I suppose, and hug you, would you feed off me? Because that'd be really.
No.
No?
I can. I think I can hug you.
She just goes in for a hug real hard. And it's just like real uncharacteristic. She doesn't really do that in like an emotional way, so it's just like.
Does she cry at all?
Unfortunately, you take 30 points of damage. So I'm so sorry. No.
I might eat some tears, but you know.
Yeah.
You won't see.
He hugs her back. Akani will walk out and go to find Chance and see if he can sit alone with Chance for a minute.
Oi, brother. What is it?
Hey, I was just wondering, are you possessed by a goddess and talking to somebody? And why are your arms all old?
Cool. So the only one who knows.
This couldn't have gone any better.
Sorry, let's go ahead and tackle this one at a time.
Okay.
Am I possessed by a goddess?
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no. She fancies me a wee bit, and is making her intentions known to me. By occasionally possessing me, but it's nothing formal. Like we haven't like picked out rings or nothing like it. It was me sort of trying to figure out where my sort of powers come from.
Yeah, I made a deal with some powerful thing too, so I don't know. You know, it's all good.
God, yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, no,
I
it
get
does. It really
I get
does.
it. Yeah.
The arms. Connie, I pick up on luck. You know, I feed on luck of individuals and things of that sort. I don't know when's the last time you took a look around Barovia. There's not a ton of good luck to absorb from people. I'm starving to death. It's just a thing, and my arms are sort of displaying that, and I refuse to feed off of your friends, no matter what sort of luck they have about them. I don't mind taking the hits and making sure others have bad days, but I'm getting to the point where I am feeding off of my own reserves, and I never knew what would happen, and apparently, as long as it's not the face, I'm more than fine with it, honestly. But if I start getting the gross, like knee dangly bits, I don't know what I'm going to do.
If you want to feed off me, that's cool. I'm really good at beer pong, so my luck is good. Like we can play some beer pong, and then you can just feed on me, okay?
No, you know I'm never going to do that. We swore an oath to each other.
I know, but if you need to.
I love you for it, brother. I do, but I'm I'm not ready to have that sort of. And who knows? I mean, what if I get into a pinch and I need the world's best beer pong player, and then will I be kicking myself because I leech the luck out of you? And who am I gonna ask?
In the distance, you just hear.
Yeah, definitely not the fiery one that broke into my room. I feel like that would just be a poor choice. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know how to do it.
So,
Play beer pong, too.
thanks for telling me all
thank you,
that.
Patch.
You're welcome.
Where'd you come
I'm
from?
good.
What you doing in my bedroom?
But what about the mirror? Who are you talking to?
What you talking about?
You're talking to a mirror. You said something. You're talking about us. You were telling somebody things.
I was talking to myself. I was trying to figure out what I was going to
Insight check.
do.
It's a 12.
Oh
He's telling the absolute truth.
no!
I do that sometimes. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm...
Yeah, I understand that. I could get that.
Connie, you know I would never lie to you.
Oh no.
I know.
I love you.
I love you too. I'm so glad that you're back. That I can see you again.
I'm glad you're back. Honestly, I didn't know what I was going to do. I've got things going on, and I could really use a wee bit of help. Maybe you and I can talk after you take a bit of a rest. All right? Yeah.
Okay.
And
We'll talk in the morning.
we'll talk in the morning.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night.
I already got all the answers. Don't worry.
I love you, bro, Montana. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Everybody goes to rest within the sanctity of the study.
Yes.
Okay. You stay up that night. Vampires. We're playing off. We're playing off some mythos here, kids. Vampires. A big thing about vampires is something that relates back to the Fae. The Fae can do many different things, and so can vampires, and so can some of the demons and infernal creatures that sort of inhabit the world that you all live in. But in order to do the real bad stuff, you have to invite them in. My dear audience, earlier tonight I had a conversation with each and every one of these players about a major event that could affect them, be it a individual wanting to communicate with them, a big choice they had to make, and things of that sort. The players know that each one of them has this very important yes or no question that they are going to answer, but they don't know what everybody else's question is. So, all of that being said, there comes the point in the night where all of you settle down for your rest, gathered around the warmth of it, where you finally have a second to breathe, where you feel yourself, your body relaxing. There's a special time of night, kids, that I think is around 3 a.m., where the world shuts down and all you're left with is your thoughts. And at 3 a.m., it's crunch time.
No.
No?
No.
Yes. Yes.
It's really hard. But no.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. No.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. As Pyre, in a dead sleep, sits up and smiles. I need everybody to leave the room,
Oh my God.
except for Kat. As Pyre picks up the giant ball in front of them and goes, "Oh, yes! Love 3 a.m.
I'm taking this. There's definitely water with me.
A whole hour."
Oh gosh.
The voice echoes in your head. You know exactly who it is, and it's Strahd. The message and sendings that usually come to you are this gentle flowing magic of telepathy, okay? That kind of come in, and it's this gradual magic. This does not feel like this. This feels like a psychic scream. It's more of a knife in the back of your head. And whatever sort of zone that you were drifting in, worrying about your daughter and things of that sort, it cuts through it. And immediately, you hear Strahd asking you to come outside. There's trouble, and he needs you to come alone. The house rests. You get up as Pyre gets up as well and looks over at you and says, "Do you need company?"
No.
Fine. I'll leave in the back. And Pyre, her mouth not moving, but her voice definitely coming from her, gets up and walks out the back door.
Magnolia, remember this for later.
Okay.
That's a later conversation.
Magnolia, you leave the front door, heading out to the backwoods of the house. As you do, you're scanning the horizon and things of that sort. In a moment, Strahd will appear in a cloud of mist and things of that sort. Strahd is beat to shit. His left arm is broken and hangs useless at his side. He has a chunk of his midsection that is trying to heal itself but cannot heal itself, as what looks to be a chunk of cold steel is preventing the wound from closing. He has scratches that cut down his face, and you see his right eye is just whited over, as something has scratched his face so hard that his face is just almost mangled beyond belief. And standing next to him is your daughter. She looks up at you and she goes, "Mom!" She's over to you and she immediately runs up to you. She envelops you in a hug. She's crying on your shoulder. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this guy came out of nowhere, and there was these three old hags," and Strahd is just sort of standing there. He's kind of scanning the horizon as your daughter goes into the verbal thing that she does, where it's just like, "And then there was an explosion, and I was trying to find you, and all of us were looking for you," and then it just keeps hugging you in between like broken.
I'm holding her. I'm looking at Strahd. I'm like, what can I do?
The only thing that you can do is I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Oh God. Everything is fine and awesome. 15.
Immediately, you see the green bolt of arcane energy come running forward. It's not aimed at you; it's aimed at your daughter. You instinctively take a step in front of her with the 15 dexterity saving throw. Strahd intercepts it. Instead, steps in front of you where you are and bares his teeth, sending both of his hands down to the ground. In an instant, the visage of this man, cursed with vampirism, is replaced by a demon, essentially, like just white pale skin, bat like grotesque features and things of that sort. He goes full Nosferatu. You'll get that reference.
Yeah,
okay. The energy hits him right in the center of his mass as three darkened shapes come darting out of the woods. He looks to you and he goes, "I need you to say your goodbyes. From one parent to another, I can get her to safely, but I know you would not believe it unless I let her talk to you. Let me take care of them. Say goodbyes quickly, please." And immediately runs forward towards the three of them, transforming into a wolf as he does. The wolf pounces on the three of the squat, large shapes first, and as the other two converge, turning into animals themselves. It turns into this massive thing of snarls and bites and things of that sort that are happening as you get a few seconds with your daughter.
I grab her face and I kiss her head. Like, what have I always told you?
You told me so much, Mom. Like, honestly, I love you so much. Like,
trust but don't trust.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Is this your boyfriend? 'Cause
no.
Damn.
No.
Like at one point his shirt got ripped and there's some stuff going. If you're not, can I?
He's
Is
killed
this
a lot of my friends?
Okay. Nobody's perfect, Mom. You know this. And like we.
I know. Just be safe, please. God, be safe.
Always. Everybody's fine. Everybody's okay.
Iris is okay.
Yes.
Juniper's okay.
Yes, they're both fine. I'm fine, really.
What are you doing?
There's a windmill, Mom. The ladies. There's three of them. The short, squat ones. And you just hear this growl as one of the squat figures is taken and thrown back into the woods. She lands up against this tree, and the tree falls down on top of her, and she does not move from the spot as the tree falls on top of her and just sort of splits and melts off of her as it turns into water. As the solid oak of the tree just melts, and she goes back into the fray with Strahd snarling and fighting these three creatures. He's like, Mom, there's a windmill. Mom, there's a windmill in the middle of the woods, okay? And there's other kids there, but they're not from around here. They're pulling people in, but Mom, there's a way for you to get back. Like there's this amulet, this necklace, and if you could get to it, Mom, you could get back. Like they travel, and Strahd at one point takes all three of them and just sort of gives this hug, and you hear the sickening sound of all three of the creatures' spines snap as they fall to the ground, and Strahd limps over. As he does, his bones are starting to re-knit. You see his arm reconnecting at the side. The wounds are healing up on the side, and things of that sort, as he's walking over towards where the girl is.
Cure wounds 5th level.
He as you go to point it at him, he takes your hand and shifts it over to your daughter. As you see her leg, which she's been hiding from you, like she's got her leg knits up and stuff like that. And she goes, I could have healed it when I got back to the house. You know, it's fine. Like, and it's fine. He looks at you desperately and he goes, I will get us to safety.
How are you doing this?
I have a child. There are some things bigger. He immediately goes over and wraps her up. He changes into this swarm of bats, and she's like, I know I'm supposed to be terrified. This is super cool. As she's lifted into the air a little bit, and her arm is outstretched to you, and there's that moment of you feeling your daughter's hand slide across your arm, and you flash back in that instant of 3, 4, 5 seconds of her arm, of holding her as a baby, of seeing her walk and things of that sort, of not being able to protect her from the monsters of this world as a monster carries her off into the sky to bring her back home.
Does the necklace countdown stop?
The necklace countdown stops. As she is lifted and flown to safety. The three beings in the forest immediately turn into flying shapes as well and take to the skies. It is a very quick as they fly off into the night sky. One of them attempts to take off as Pyre comes leaping out of the bushes and basically rips a chunk of her leg off. Bare teeth running down on the ground, still in Pyre form, but just in full form, takes a leap and takes a bit of the person's leg off. The individual shrieks and looks down, and Pyre just smiles and flips like the bird in this form and stuff like that.
Good girl, good boy. I don't know.
Yeah. The individual goes, fun! Yes! He goes, 45 minutes left. And immediately on all fours again, just running off into the forest.
She just screams and cries because she's been holding in all these emotions for so long. She just is sobbing here for a moment before she composes herself and goes back inside.
It's hard to sleep. What you once thought was going to be a sleepless night worrying after your child has now turned into these deep questions of, who has my child? You receive a sending. It's faint, it's weak, as if it's had to push through a barrier to get to you. But it's the equivalent of home.
I don't know. She said yes. I don't know if she's still here, but she would take Ophelia and just place her head in her lap and just is running her fingers through her hair, just staying. She still wouldn't sleep.
Okay. Okay, gang, you're good. Come back in.
I'll go scream for them.
Go get everybody.
Hey guys, you can come back inside now. No.
All right, kids. Everybody.
All right or R.I.P. kids?
R.I.P. kids.
Oh no.
Everybody gets a long rest.
Fantastic.
Everybody gets a long rest tonight, so you can mark that long rest button that is there. You have slept in the vicinity of the lava lamp, so your original forms are brought back to you. So Etheria, for the first time in a long time, looks like a cute, a little precocious tiefling and things of that sort. We finally get our bugbear back, and we get our dryad paladin, who's just sleeping in a little bit and taking it easy.
If you will.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something different about Patches now? Up to about here is just all white now.
All white fur.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just from.
Skeleton.
Well, no, it's from Dark Dude, but still.
You have.
Yeah. Can we as players make an insight check on another player? That's work.
I'll say this: when you wake up in the morning, a few things have changed.
Okay.
Patches has the white fur now. Etheria, you wake up in Magnolia's lap. Your head resting in Magnolia's lap, and she's just sort of softly like petting your hair and things of that sort.
That's the look she's got on her face.
Pyre's mouth is covered in blood.
What?
Pyre tastes iron. Tastes a little bit of she got into that red Kool-Aid.
It was really cool though, so it's fine.
What happened?
It's fair. Don't worry about it.
No. What
I know
happened?
that was not in character.
Yeah. As you all wake up, you kind of taste iron. I would say you would even bring it would be dry at this point. You bring out your hand up, but as you pull back the red flakes of just a little bit of like.
So I'm covered in blood. Was anyone awake? Because
I was.
Ember, what did you do?
Great hour.
Yeah.
No friends eaten. Yes. Team member.
All right, fine. No friends eaten. Okay, who did you eat?
They were bad.
Bad to who?
All bad guys.
All bad guys. Can you elaborate a bit?
Yes.
Go ahead.
No.
I didn't get a name.
You didn't get a name, okay? What do they look like?
This one was very powerful. Squat. Magic.
Yeah,
I bit them.
you bit them.
It
and
was great.
Did they die, or do we now have a new nemesis? Ember?
I killed a deer.
Yeah, but what about this squat one with the magic?
They got away.
They got away. Good. What do they look like? Ember, you know your life is now tied to mine. So if they're coming after me, they're gonna come after you too. So I need to
Oh, that's right. You get taken over for like an hour a day, right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Not. This one's on me.
Yeah, that's definitely on you.
From now on, anytime I bite someone, make sure they're dead.
If they're
Whoops-a-doodle.
not a friend.
If they're not a friend, yes.
Yeah, so I really need I need to know who I'm looking out for now. So what do they look like?
Squat. Magic. Very powerful.
Is this happening
Wait,
out loud or
what
in your
sort
head?
of
This is a very
sport?
important question.
Is this happening out loud or in your head?
Oh, absolutely out loud.
Yeah, you hear her having this conversation. You don't hear Ember's reply,
Yeah.
but you're all hearing this.
Can you manifest? Like,
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, do you
am
want them
I
to?
having this in my head?
Yeah. Your tattoos come pouring off of your hand, and they kind of form this almost like you're looking at like a 2D sculpture that depending on how you look at it and stuff like that. But it's the faces of this face of this creature that sort of comes out and goes.
I was sort of wrapped up in the moment.
You can't remember anything about what they look like?
Squat magic-y.
That describes half of Barovius.
Old.
Old.
Yes.
Squat, old, male, female.
There was
I-
3 of them.
I'll be honest. All of you look the same.
Was that Magnolia?
Whoa.
Did you see this?
There was 3 of them. He
Back
jumped
to
up
him.
and grabbed one. Took a very big chunk out of it. I was rather impressed, actually.
Yeah. Can you describe what happened? Because apparently Amber was in the moment. I'm disappointed in you.
When we formed our partnership, there was no resume talk. I didn't know I was going to have to draw
Well,
you
look, the next
sketches.
time- the next time maybe pay attention to who you're going with.
Fine.
Okay, fine.
Are you
Tyler.
carrying me like a baby?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not like holding you. I just put your head in my lap.
That's okay. That's enough for her. Like a baby.
Yeah. What happened?
There was these 3 old women. They were watching the house, and Ember came out and attacked one.
Oh.
Is there
But they were heading toward where the windmill is.
the windmill? Do they feel unfriendly or what?
They felt very unfriendly.
Very unfriendly.
That's why I bit one.
Is it?
Why didn't you wake us up?
They were gone. You guys needed your rest.
But did you fight them?
I did not.
So how did all 3 of them go away?
I don't
Me,
think
I
they
was
were
awake.
looking to fight us. They were just watching.
Watching for who?
I don't know. I didn't have a conversation with them.
Ember, next time you get hungry, let me know. We'll go find some bad guys. Okay?
Hungry now.
Yeah, but we may have made an enemy now because you got hungry. So
That's fair.
yeah. So you're gonna help me out when we see them next?
Sure.
I want you to identify them when we see them next. You tell me?
Yes.
Yeah, discreetly.
Yes.
Because also I will absolutely tell them it was you.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's like 2 3/4 old ladies that went back to the windmill.
2 3/4.
And they have food there.
1 foot in the grave.
All signs.
But
of
hold on, Ember.
we have the key to
Your
this windmill.
food.
No, they have children, but not friends.
But they're gonna eat the children? Ember.
You were there.
And he just starts kind of shrinking back the tattoo.
Ember, you get back out here.
He comes out.
What do you mean, children, as food?
What are you doing?
Who are you?
I think there's been a mistake.
What sort of mistake? Who are you?
You are not the one in charge of me. This is a partnership, and you are treating me like second class.
No, I'm not. I'm treating you like someone who literally put us in danger by attacking someone and not finishing them off when you could have.
This is true, and you have never, ever put us in danger before.
Not in. I made the choice, Ember. I made the choice to get us out of there when I could have stayed and done something stupid. Okay.
True.
Yep. So, are we on equal level now?
Yes. As long as you justify your actions to me, I will justify my actions to you.
You know what? That is absolutely fair, and I will do that in the future.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And they shake hands.
Ember's like the best accountability councilman.
It's a two-way street, y'all.
It's
I know she's gonna get up and go make breakfast.
Did anything else weird happen? Like, I feel like I missed like a whole chapter or something. Like,
Chance.
She just gets up and walks away.
Chance is like very confused, looking at us. It's just how they wake up every morning.
No, I think it was a strange night last night.
It was, but I feel great.
Chance, I felt her. I felt her
Last night.
trying to contact me, or
What'd you say?
she asked me if she could come in, and I said no.
Good on you.
I mean, I thought she might hurt everybody, and
Yeah.
and you.
No. You made the right call. So, there. How did the rest of you sleep?
I slept great. Are we finding
how
your
did I
daughter?
sleep? Everyone else is waking up in weird things.
I'm in a different room.
Kill the guy. Magnolia kind of gets up and heads over towards the kitchen. There are plenty of things in here that you could use to make a breakfast and things of
Making
that sort.
waffles.
You're just making waffles over in the kitchen and
Can I
things
just
of
be
that sort.
following her around the kitchen? Because I've got several questions to ask.
I imagine with your little tiefling wings, you do the little chicken thing where you just kind of hop and stuff like that, and your wings just go fum, 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 as you move over in into that direction.
So are we finding your daughter? What was her name? I think it was Holly. Okay, so where is she? And is that why you were holding me and stroking my head? Is because you missed your daughter? And I feel really bad about that. So we should find her now.
Holly is safe. I got a message from her last night, and my counter stopped, so she's safe.
Fantastic.
We can't hear this.
That's great. How did you? Wait, you got a
I'm just
message.
happy to hear news.
You got a message from her? How? What?
We can send messages to each other.
Oh.
There's been a bit of a barrier while we're here, but I can send them to her, and she can send them to me, and she did last night that she was home, and the counter stopped, so I believe that
So
she's
it's
safe.
solved. Oh, that was easy. Okay, so I guess we have to figure out what's next.
We do. Do you think we have to go to this windmill?
Oh, I've never seen a windmill before, so that sounds really fun. Except for the 2.5 mean old ladies.
Well, then we have to beat up old ladies.
Okay, I mean they're mean, right? Because
Yes, they're mean.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, they're probably gonna be mean now because Pyre tried to eat them.
Connie walks into the kitchen.
Actually, you two walked in the kitchen. Connie's been here for like 3 hours. Connie. Yeah, Toby. The two of you are in there. While this conversation is happening in the kitchen, Connie's in there sipping tea and stuff like that. What are the two of you doing this morning? Chance immediately gets up from his chair and kind of stretches and goes upstairs to kind of change clothes and things like that, giving you a little bit of run of the house.
Well, she wants to catch him before he goes upstairs and says, "Who are you?"
Oi.
Me again?
Hi.
Yeah. Who were you talking to last night?
I was talking to Connie, and then I was also talking to all of you.
Don't play coy with me.
We had...
Who were you talking to in the mirror? I saw it, and I know you were waiting for a response. I'm here to protect my friends, and I need to know we can... I don't trust you. I don't. Look, I know that you said you're not your father, but I want to make sure that they're staying protected. And Connie trusts you.
How old are you?
I'm not telling you.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool. So your game is I ask you lots of questions and don't answer a single one.
You're the one who's talking to an unknown entity about us.
Do we want to play the I'm talking to an unknown entity game?
Yes,
do we really want to play that game?
Yes, I really do, because my
Cool.
friends' lives are at stake.
Tell me all about the individual that came out of your body in tattoo form, and I'll tell you about the individual that I was talking to in
Yeah,
the
sure.
mirror.
That's Ember. I don't know much about him, except he needs my body to get things done. He's going to help me out, and we've got a partnership that now I have realised is a two-way street, and I can't treat him like a slave. So,
Oh, good.
yes, we've got a partnership. We figured that out. I don't know what he does when I'm asleep. Woke up with blood in my mouth. That's all I know. Your turn.
No, I think I'd rather not. And turns and just turns around and starts walking towards the stairs.
Now, I asked you a question. And yes, I know that you've got a goddess in you, but I'm talking to you. I want to know who you were talking to in that mirror. Was it Strahd?
Why does it matter?
Because my friends' lives are at stake.
Are you sure?
And I need to know your allegiance.
Do you want to know the truth, or do you want to be happy?
No, I want to know the truth.
I was talking to Strahd.
Really?
Yes.
So you're working for him?
Yes.
Yes, in what capacity?
I was supposed to relay to him when all of you got here and got here safely.
So you're betraying your brother?
No,
Yes, you did.
I'm protecting my brother.
How? By telling Strahd everything that we're doing?
While he's under this house, he's under my protection, and Strahd cannot touch him.
How?
What do you mean, how?
Strahd is in charge of pretty much everything here, as far as I'm concerned, and what I've seen. So how can you trust him? He's not just going to turn on you and kill your brother.
Because Strahd is many things, but he's a man of his word.
Really, is he?
He is. Have you noticed or interacted with him in any way that would prove differently to that?
Yeah, he tricked me as a wolf.
That's a bit petty.
Strahd
Yeah,
tricked you
yeah.
as a wolf.
He pretended to be an
Is he
injured
dressed
wolf.
as a grandmother?
No, he turned into a wolf, pretended to be an injured wolf, got me to take care of him, and Magnolia to heal him, by the way, and then he ended up cornering her. It was ridiculous.
Did he ask you to heal him?
No.
Did he
And I
ask
wish
you?
it was-
Did he ask you to care for the wolf?
He played
So
my fi-
let me.
Don't you go
No.
with this.
You ran into a hurt wolf. You healed the wolf. Turned out to be Strahd,
I
and
didn't.
that's lying to you.
He pretended to be something he wasn't in order to manipulate what we care about the most.
Aren't you a druid?
Yeah, which is why he cared about it. I rolled poorly on my check, okay? My dice are not in my favour.
Who hasn't rolled poorly on their check? Isn't you turning into an animal the same lie that he told?
So what I'm hearing is that you're reporting on us, on your brother, to Strahd. That is the fact of it, correct?
Yes.
You're giving away our position, you're giving away everything about us to Strahd.
Yeah, and if you want to break my brother's heart, go ahead. If you want to be the one to tell him that I'm looking out for his best interest at heart, then please,
How
by
is
all
it
means.
looking out for his best interest?
Because Strahd wanted to know, and I have to hold this position in order to stay here and look after him even more.
You know he's tried to kill us several times, correct?
Oh, I believe it.
And once we leave this house, we're not under your protection anymore.
Correct.
Yeah, so once he leaves, he's free game for Strahd, who knows where we are. Did you ever think of that?
How many times have you died?
I'm not
Higher.
answering that question. DM.
Higher.
It's a scary question.
How many times have you died?
I'm not answering that question.
How many times have your friends died?
Some of them, a few times. Connie hasn't yet, and I want to see that from stopping from happening.
Me too. Then we're on the same page, aren't we?
Great, then why are you betraying us to Strahd?
We're stuck in a cyclical loop right now.
Yeah, we literally are.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on the fact that you're working with the man who's trying to kill us and enslave everyone in this country.
Then tell him.
Fine.
There's nothing I can say that's going to change your mind.
But you know what, at least he can have the conversation with you himself instead of you hiding it from him.
All right.
Hmm.
Are you a fan of deals?
No.
Luck is a fickle thing.
I met her.
I will tell Connie everything. I will tell Connie the exact person I was talking to in the mirror. I'll explain to him why. All right? I will do all of this because you care so much about him that you want him to know the truth and the whole truth of the matter.
I do, because you've become like a father to me when I never had one. So,
All right.
shit. Said that out loud.
You did. That's way too intimate. I don't even like you, and I feel like that's too intimate.
Yeah, well now you know the stakes that I have in this, so...
If he gets hurt, if he goes on this unholy mission against Strahd, he is going to die. And not in the fun way where you come back. He is going to die. And every day of your life will be unluckier than the one before it.
He's going to go on that journey anyway. Strahd has done enough to us and to Magnolia that he's going to leave and he's going to try to take down Strahd regardless of what it affects you. So
Are you speaking for you? Are you speaking for Magnolia?
I'm speaking for all of us. We're
Do
a
you-
troop.
Do you have the right to do that?
No, but we become family.
Fair. Then you better hope that your family believes in the same things that you do.
I hope so too, because I'm doing what I think is best to protect my family. You've not seen him in a long time, but I've spent a long time with them.
That flips a switch. The eyes roll back in the head,
Ruh-roh.
and the eyes go green. And all of a sudden, he's still using his voice, but all of a sudden, the plants in the room start blooming. The light pierces through that gray sky and hits him in the center of his being as he looks at you and he goes,
Genius.
"You can say many things." You start to hear Connie, you start to hear Chance's voice reverberating throughout the entirety of the house. Every single piece of furniture, every cup, every plate starts vibrating with Chance's voice at this moment and say many things, and all of you hear this, and it's almost like deafening at this point. You could come running out of the kitchen and see him floating just a few inches off of the ground at this point, uncontrollable as Pyre just yells out like, "Guys, can we get like?" And he goes, "Say whatever you want to say, but never, ever deem to say you know my brother more than me, no matter how long you've been with him." He turns to you and he's flipped. He's in the bad place right now. And he turns to you and those eyes are just emerald green.
Chance, stop. Hey, look, there's no need to... She can
So hungry.
be annoying and stuff, but you don't need to, like, really get all mad like this. It's okay. We're okay.
I could just drain her real quick and then you and I can run off together.
No. We got... Hey, listen. I'll help us. We'll find someone else, but not her. We can't do it. Okay? She's my friend.
A persuasion at advantage.
I would like to assist with that. Because she was a Python. I never said I knew him better. I said I know him who he is now.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad I had advantage on that. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He turns to you and then turns back. and then turns to you again, and his feet slowly hit the ground as the sunlight stops breaking through the gray. The plants in the area are still at the same size they were at before, and everybody's just at separate ends of the hallway looking at this as the first ounces of sunlight, for some reason, just pierced the gray clouds of Barovia. As he turns and he goes, I talked to Strahd last night. He wanted to know when you arrived.
In the mirror?
In the mirror.
You lied to me.
I kept it from him, yeah. And I'm sorry. He asked me not to say anything, and I feel like I owe him a debt for everything that I have here, and the minute I break that, I'm going to be sent back, and I don't. The thought of losing you, I'd lie to the devil himself. I'd lie
Lied to me, and he murdered Mr. Parnham. He killed the people of the circus. He tried to kill Ophelia and Patches and Woody, all of us.
Brother,
No, I can't trust you anymore. How could you lie to me? How could you trust him? You have a deal with him?
I do. He's not quite the man that you think.
I watched him murder the only father I've ever known.
You of all people should know what the hunger does to people, brother.
That was not hunger. That was sport. He enjoyed it. I can't trust you anymore. I'm sorry, Chance. I can't trust you anymore. And we're gonna go. We're gonna go.
I revoke my invitation. You want to go? You want to be on your own? You want to see the world? Then go.
You're gonna go find your friend. Go find your friend and finish this. I mean, I think we have to go kill some old ladies first, but after that...
Can I roll an insight check on Chance?
Yeah. What
This
are
was all
you inciting?
I'm inciting his sincerity on what he's saying to Connie, that he was doing everything to protect him.
Yeah.
Cool. That's an 18 plus 7.
He means
18, 20, 22, 26.
freebie. He means every word of it. Sometimes you do stuff that you believe is everything.
Guys, I was here the whole time. I don't mean to snoop on conversations, but it's kind of happened right in front of me. I don't mean to snoop. He did say, like, when we came in, that he was in contact with Strahd. Like, he said that. Yeah?
Patches, it's different to hear him actually do it.
Yeah, but he told us outright. If he had something to hide, he wouldn't have said it to begin with. So, I get it. I understand. I'm just looking at both sides of the coin here. Like, he very blatantly said that he got this position from Strahd. Like, we should have known cahoots at that point.
Well, he actually didn't say it was Strahd. He said an unknown entity brought him here.
Oh, was it?
He said Strahd.
No, he
I
said.
don't think he did.
He said Strahd outright.
He said someone gave him an opportunity when he was in a bad position. He never said.
He later confirmed that it was.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't
So,
remember
so I mean, I get it. Hurt feelings. I get it. Deception. If he knows where we're at, he probably knows where we're at anyway. He seems to pop up everywhere we go. So even whether we're here, whether
It's
we're
true, he's
come out,
known where we are every step of the way.
every mile down the road, it might pop up. So
that. Patches, the problem is this is a family thing. It's deeper than that.
Chance, look me in the eye. You never, ever lie to me again. You promise me right now.
hey man, I'm gonna say something. They said a lot.
Hang
They said a lot
on.
of things.
He looks at you and he goes, can't promise that.
Then we're done.
Connie,
No, we're done.
Connie.
walks out.
Connie
He
walks
walks
out.
out into the street.
Pyra's gonna follow him. She's not gonna leave the threshold, but she's gonna.
You're gonna step up to the door?
I'm gonna stay. Because I can't get back in if I leave, because our invitation's been revoked, right? Or is it
That's-
does it just count for Connie?
I think that's a vampire. Though.
I don't want to leave it.
It's a cultural thing.
If I call out for Connie, will he stop?
No.
What are you doing? I think all of this is happening, and the adults are like
I
having
know,
this,
they're
like,
all
oh.
yelling, and in Furia's
We're
mind,
downstairs making
it's her
waffles.
brother, and he said he was talking to Strahd, but he did lie, but it was a little lie. So they should really be talking about it and working it out right now.
That's where I'm going with it.
So just like you're like your brother should talk.
So yeah,
Maybe over waffles?
so
Patch has just got to level
she's
up.
okay.
No.
She's gonna look at Chance and she's gonna say, "I don't think you should give up." And then she's gonna run out because she wants to talk to Connie.
Persuasion check.
Gosh, it's not very good. It's 6 plus 6, 12.
Okay. You just kind of run off. You
Yeah,
leave,
she
you
runs
leave
out
the
to
house.
find Connie. She's gonna try to catch up.
Connie, how far are you going, man? Are you in that angry place where you just gotta keep
Just
walking
outside. Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's not like running around.
Oh, cool, cool,
He's just
cool.
walking.
Perception check then, my dude.
Yeah, that's a 4 on the dice. And,
He doesn't notice
there's
this.
a +0. Yeah.
Perception check, my dude.
Oh, I clicked it. Okay. 19.
Okay, he walks out and he's like, "Ugh, rage!" Oh, you got a very sweet shout out from Guitar Bro 98 in the chat. It's just like, I love your TikToks, you're amazing, and stuff like that. Hey, Guitar Bro. Connie goes walking out and he's like, "Ugh," and he's like kicking rocks and stuff like that. He's just trying to calm down. Pyre runs out right up to the threshold, does not leave the house, and just goes. Starts yelling for your name, Connie. And I know you're in a bit of a rage. It's Affy that looks to the right and he kind of looks back. And then like, as you look, and the tree line, like the forest that was next to the Burgermeister's place, there's a circular, like, for lack of a better term, like a meteorite crash, where all of the trees have been broken in half. Something hit hard, and there is blood and gross adult stuff everywhere, like scorch marks in trees, little bits of ice patch, acid splash, and things of that sort. Like, it looks like last night, like somebody was like, "You get a chromatic orb, you get a chromatic orb, everybody gets chromatic orb," like, and it's a little bit of a war zone, and Connie's in his head so much that he's just kind of kicking around it, like walking around it, but you see like all of it, like.
She's gonna double make a mental note. That what she wants to do is fly up and over Connie and turn around and stop him and come down. Think Peter Pan, like where he stops and he like comes down like this.
Yeah.
She's pulling a
Yeah, like, and you're just doing
Yeah.
the like little kid thing. Yeah, as you're like, I'm gonna make a mental note of this. Like, you fly up and over and boom, like arms
What a
folded.
crazy thing. Anyway.
Crazy random happenstance.
What a crazy kind of
What?
nonsense.
What was I supposed to do? He lied to me, and he wouldn't even promise me that he would tell me the truth again.
Do you have any other brothers or sisters?
Yeah, we have a sister.
I don't have any brothers or sisters.
Well, trust me, you don't want them.
I always wanted a brother or sister. Would your brother ever hurt you? I mean, other than like hitting you on the head if you deserve it.
Chance was always the one that protected us.
Right. So do you think he would hurt you? Has he ever, how long have you
No,
been
but
brothers?
I think he might hurt you.
Right, but
and
how long
Pyre,
have you been
and-
brothers?
Like, since I can remember.
right? You're way older than me, and I get lost when I talk about adult ages, and you're even older because you're a vampire. And so I don't know if it's like hundreds of years or like thousands of years or millions of years. So how long have you been brothers?
Definitely not millions of years.
Okay, but like maybe thousands or
No,
hundreds?
I don't think that long
Okay,
either.
so like, but a bunch of years?
Like, yeah, like 50 years?
Okay. And has he ever done anything that would hurt you? Like, you know what I mean, hurt you.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
So maybe, just maybe, he deserves the chance to explain it.
But he won't tell me the truth. I mean, I tried to get him to
He did
explain.
tell
He
you
wouldn't
the
tell me
truth.
the truth.
He lied and then he told you the truth. But do you know how many times I have lied to people that I care about when I thought I was protecting them, or it was just really convenient at the time?
Ow.
When I thought I was protecting them, or if it was really.
I gotta think about
Me
it.
too.
I don't know. I just do. He's working with Strahd, and
But he
I'm
told
afraid
us that.
I know, but I'm afraid that. I don't think he'd hurt me, but I think he would hurt all of you, and I can't risk that. So
Did you think he would hurt all of us when we came into the house?
no.
I'm pretty fast.
So you only think that he might hurt all of us now because he lied to you?
Because he might do it to protect me, and because he has this deal with Strahd, and because I've seen him hurt other people before that didn't deserve it.
We all went, oh.
Have you
Because
hurt
we're
other
like,
people before that didn't deserve it?
Not on purpose.
Have you hurt other people before that didn't deserve it like he does?
Yeah.
So you're the same. Except you caught him lying to you.
I would never lie to him.
Would you lie to him if you thought it would protect him?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Tonight's episode
Maybe.
of Strahd brought to you by accountability.
Maybe.
So maybe you give him one chance to be honest about all of your questions. And then maybe he either keeps lying and then you walk away, or he gives you more information which could help all of us to get out of here alive because he knows Strahd and he has worked with Strahd, and perhaps if we have more information, we all get out of here alive.
Why do I pay for therapy? I just have a fear,
Seriously.
right?
I'm like, damn.
No one will ever believe that.
I'll go back in. I guess I can go back, but I don't think I can go back in.
Well, you can ask him. All he
Okay.
has to do is give us permission. Also, did you notice that there's blood everywhere?
As soon as she says that, you go, man, you know? A lot happened out here last night.
Yeah. I want to do like a look around.
It's like, there's a lot of blood. Anyway, blood forever.
Yeah.
The therapy fairy runs back inside.
I'm gonna summon Guillermo and have him
Okay.
kind of fly around and look around too. So help me with my
Cool.
investigation.
Yeah. You send Guillermo up. You can give me an investigation roll at advantage.
Okay. That is that's a 25.
Okay. Guillermo is like, Dad? And you get to see through Guillermo's eyes. And Guillermo shows you this area where there's just like the bomb went off. And then Guillermo flies up and shows you like the pocket here where this bomb went off, and the pocket here, and this path that goes boop, 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 where something happened, like boom, 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 and tracing it and going back. And Guillermo gives a little like, do I keep going?
No, we better get everybody. Okay.
And Guillermo's like, ooh. Head back in the house. While this conversation was going on, and you're trying to will him back, but you don't want to leave the threshold, and Ophelia is like,
Therapy fairy.
Ophelia is giving you the truths that only a child can give to you at this point. Hang on, before we get to
Just got his level up.
while are you making waffles?
Yeah.
No
one's told me anything.
Mini P just leveled up the therapy fairy for your good RP. That was so sweet.
Also, Beth leveled up
Yep.
patches.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Okay, I missed it.
Aw.
Making pancakes.
I mean, no one told me,
Yeah.
so
That's
I'm
gonna be
making
what I was doing.
breakfast.
Yeah, you're helping make
Well,
pancakes.
to be fair, 'cause I was in the living room when it all went down.
Crazy.
When people started running out of threshold, I'll be like, hey, I don't want to be that guy. But there's some stuff that went down in the living room. It's family stuff. I didn't get involved, but just so you know, I don't know what's going on right now, but our invitation has been revoked.
And she goes upstairs and just leaves it outside of Chance's door, knocks on his door, and then walks outside. She'd leave.
You leave it there. As you're starting to leave the house, these two are probably starting to come in. What are you doing?
Harry's gonna turn and Chance say, Chance, look.
Oh, he's still
Connie
there.
didn't leave because I did anything more than get you to tell the truth. Look, if there's anything I don't want, it's to see someone lose their family.
Really?
Yeah. No.
You could have fooled me.
Yeah. No, you told the truth, and I just got you to do that. It's nothing that I did other than what you'd already done. You told the truth. You should be proud of that. And Connie reacted the way anyone would have. But honestly, I hate that I'm saying this because I don't trust you, but you should be proud that you actually told the truth to him. Now, it's sort of time to fix it as brothers. Look, you love him, right? And the way that you reacted when you thought I was saying I knew him better than you, which I wasn't, is enough for me to know that you actually care about him regardless of who you actually are. So maybe we invite him back in, the two of you talk to each other, but you have to tell him the truth. Look, I understand bending the truth to protect someone, but honestly, he cares more about you than I've seen in a very long time. I saw who he became out there. When his eyes turned black, he was someone different because he thought you were in danger. He cares about you. And I know you care about him too. So why don't you just invite him back in and you tell the truth? Because honestly, we're here to fix whatever's going on. And whatever Strahd did to you, if you are who you say you are, we will help you.
The house always wins. You may not believe it. You may have this uncanny sense of idealism and the emotional wherewithal of a fucking rock when it comes to communicating with other people. But I understand what you're trying to say.
Well, maybe with a bit of luck, the two of you can fix what's been broken.
Okay. Connie, come back inside.
Connie steps up and says, "Hey guys, some really bad shit went down out here. I think.
Ophelia, come back inside as well, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's like carnage for a while away, like holes and craters and
Oh yeah, there's
death.
blood everywhere and guts and little
Yeah.
bits of body parts. It's really gross.
Something bad went down last night, y'all.
Well,
Magnolia, would you care to weigh in on what happened, maybe? You know?
I don't know what happened.
Okay. She just starts waving off the dried blood.
we've had a lot go on this morning.
It's been a morning.
Well, you know, I haven't had that happen. I haven't woken up to a house surrounded by carnage before, so I guess it's a new thing to take off the list.
Can you ask
I've
your,
never woken
This
up
is
and
not the
seen
first
blood on your
time.
face.
Can you
or
ask your
dogs
tattoo
in
guy
the
if he
room.
knows what happened?
I think I already tried.
No, I mean if he was the one that did all of that or if somebody else did.
Ember? I had some. Ember, did you do that? Outside?
Now it's handsome.
We already shook on it. I'm trying to better myself.
You're right.
Okay? What, did you do all that outside? Was that with the witches?
I killed a deer.
Okay, we'll unpack that later. But you didn't do all of that outside?
No.
No? Okay. You tell me the truth?
Yes.
Between friends?
Did
Yes.
you see who did it?
Yeah? Did you?
Did he see who did it?
Did you see who did it?
It was the three.
The one that you bit.
Yes.
Okay, so they did it to other people?
Yes.
Who did they attack?
There was a group, and then the one that fell, the three predators attacked the prey.
Were they kids? That they attacked?
No,
Adults.
they were fatter.
Okay, so they were adults.
Yes.
Were they townsfolk?
I don't know.
Don't
Hey,
know.
Chance, you gonna tell us what you know about all this, or are you gonna lie to me again?
Pirate Ember just
Give me a chance.
I
give Chance a chance.
I wouldn't get it, but yeah.
he sighs and he goes and just sort of flops into the chair and looks exhausted. He goes, I didn't ask to be the oldest of the three of us. I didn't ask to look after the two of you. I just know that we didn't have anyone. I guess somewhere along the way I realized that, and you have to realize this too, I'm so glad you found a family. I'm so glad you found these individuals that each have their own strengths and that can fly and be clever and be emotionally abusive and hate and and have tattoos and that can talk and things of that sort. I haven't had that. I didn't have that. I had me versus the house. And I will have lucky days and bad luck days. And know that no matter how many times I bet, no matter how much I bet, the house is going to win. And I love you. I always have. And I'm starting to grow on the party that you're traveling with. I am. You want me to tell the truth? I don't think you have this. I think at the end of the day, Strahd still has cards up his sleeve that we aren't even aware exist in the deck. And as hard as you fight, as strong as you are, as powerful as you become, I believe truly that it's not going to matter.
I have some tricks up my sleeve too. We're gonna get the house back. We're gonna take over the house. And then you can run it. We can run it together. And then the house will always win. And then you'll always win. But we need your help. And you can't lie to me anymore. And you can't trust him.
You got kids?
Yes.
He leaves the room for a second and walks upstairs. And you hear a quick, oh, sweet waffles. As he gets to his room, there's a bit of rummaging, and he comes back out holding a mirror and hands it out to you. It's too far, you won't be able to talk with him, but you can look in on them. You
Take it.
just say their name. You'll be able to watch them from afar.
And she immediately says Holly's name.
The imagery pulls up of your daughter, and the other two are close by, and there seems to be the regaling of something. You can see them moving about the space animatedly, and there's this look of like, you know, and you just see them over and over again mouthing the words mom. You know what I mean? The magic starts to fade a little bit, you know.
She just wanted to make sure she was actually safe.
Yeah. He goes, this is gonna kill us. You know that, right?
No. You always underestimated me. And so did she. But you don't know what we got.
Then let's do it. Let's take the house for what it's worth.
Hell yeah. Oh, by the way, what's up with those three old ladies? They did some
Oh yeah,
really
about
bad
that.
stuff out there.
We should really talk about that. And he goes, the longer you spend in town, you realize that nobody in Barovia is like, hey, okay, like all the time. Like there's a lot of individuals, so much so that there's a coven not too far from here that have been selling and making a good deal of money selling meat pies and things of that sort
Oh, no.
to help people sleep. And I've tried to look into it, but I'm going to tell you now, you and I may work with a high level of magic indeed, and so may all the rest of your friends, but second to Strahd, I've never seen unmitigated power like this. The ability to change into animals, the ability to cast, the ability to do both simultaneously. I've never seen anything quite like it. But they're as far as I know, they're somewhere in the vicinity of the old windmill. It's about a day's journey away from here. So I'm not sure Strahd's relationship with them. It's never come up in polite or impolite conversation. But if you're looking to eliminate a player from the board and actually do good, you could start there.
That's what Ember was talking about with the children and the ladies. Ember,
Yes.
the one that you took a bite out of, what did it taste like? You've had regular people
Chicken.
before. That's it, just tasted like chicken, nothing weird about it, nothing magical. You've had regular people
Does
before.
Ember does Ember want breakfast? I don't know how.
Ember, do you want breakfast? Like
The tattoos come out.
Yes.
He takes a bite. He's like,
This meat tastes bad.
bacon?
and then
We like bacon now.
With the word coven, could I make a check?
Arcana check.
Can I do a fun new thing that I have?
You can do a fun new thing that you have.
I have legend lore.
Okay.
It's gonna take me 10 minutes to kind of chill out, but name or describe a person or place or object. The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you name. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you name isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information.
What? Okay. All right. Let's do this one at a time.
Also, not to throw it on, but still waiting on Ember's answer. Ember's answer of the taste of if it was
If it tasted
regular
weird.
person or
Okay.
weird.
Tasted weird. He goes,
Did not taste weird, but it grew back.
Good to know, Ember. Thank you. That was very helpful.
Yes, helpful Ember.
Arcana check.
Not great.
Not
12.
Not great. 12. Witches exist. That's a thing. Hags, you know what I mean? I'll say this: hags don't tend to work in groups, which is odd for you. Hags tend to be somewhat solitary. So if one of them is a nuisance, three of them is a rough day.
It's a problem.
What word are you looking up? What are you legend lore casting?
So it says name or describe. So I'm
Okay.
gonna get like some paper. And
Do you get brief images or flashes
It
or?
just says the lore, brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you name. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known.
Okay.
The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is.
Okay.
So just on the paper, she's just writing down
I'm gonna
what
say
she saw, what happened.
what you saw, what happened, the descriptions of the group.
Yeah.
Okay. You get.
Can I? I've never done this before. Can I ask Bob to help? My dark passenger? We called him Bob.
Yeah, you could.
Because he can see like true forms of things.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you could entreat your dark passenger to
Yes.
help a little bit here. Yes. I need you to roll me a d4, please.
Okay. 1.
Okay. You watch as Magnolia gets a little older. Just a little bit, and it's not a dramatic thing. It's just the first time you've ever invoked Bob. I'm like, you just get a little older. Those little laugh lines. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll say this: you're tapping into legend lore, and it manifests in such a way that you can see this thing, and it's sort of projected out from you, almost like you're simultaneously casting minor illusion out to. Would you keep it inward or broadcast it outward? Inward. Okay. What you see is a shriveled like husk of a woman that is traveling with two other individuals that look to be about the same age as her. They are working in this circular room that's going up in this large, like, grinding mechanism is grinding things in the windmill. That's not uncommon. All of a sudden, the scene shifts, and you are seeing first-person view of this woman walking in a beautiful, like, sort of sunny area. It's definitely not Barovia, and her eyes dart, and she takes this deep inhale in, and as she does, she goes fast. Faster than, like, she's almost loping on the ground on all fours and things of that sort until you see the arch of the circus before you, and her eyes dart over to the side, and she grabs a hold of her neck and just twists something on her neck. It's this clinking sound on her neck, and her eyes are scanning the entirety of the circus. You're seeing this individual as you're hearing these voices, this sort of echoing all throughout of her head as her eyes dart and beeline and look right at Etheria. She goes, and Etheria glows like the morning sun. Etheria is lit. Like as this woman grabs her neck and just kind of like twists whatever's on her neck a little bit, just a little bit, and eyes dart towards Etheria, a very young-looking Etheria, who looks over at her and just kind of like nods, and the woman nods and goes, "Hi, little one. Where are your parents?"
Am I supposed to respond to that? Like,
where are your parents?
They're not here.
You don't have parents, do you?
I didn't say that.
Do you work for the circus?
I work with the circus.
The woman's arm darts. It's like a scorpion sting. It's a bam, and grabs a hold of Epheria's arm, and she squeezes, and Etheria gives out this tiny little yelp of pain as this bruise manifests on Epheria's arm, and this woman inhales, and as she does, she inhales a little bit of that light that's leaking off of Etheria, as Etheria gives out a little yelp of pain. She's like, "I have a place that we're gonna go to that's filled with food and friends and toys. Would you come with me?"
I don't want to go away.
She pulls Etheria hard. It's enough of pain that Epheria's scream gets caught in the back of her throat, and Etheria is kind of pulled towards the arches of this place when a very familiar looking staff hits this woman in the arm. Bah! One quick hit, and the woman's arm sizzles and begins to blister as Etheria runs behind the cloak of Mr. Parnham. And Mr. Parnham just sort of stands with Etheria at his side. Epheria's looking very confused, and for the first time you've ever seen in your entire life of traveling with her, Etheria is many things, but Etheria looks afraid. As Mr. Parnham goes, "I think you were just leaving, weren't you? Etheria, let's go and get you a little bit of food, shall we?"
Yeah, we should. And she goes off, and then she looks over her shoulder to see if the woman's looking and sticks her tongue at her and keeps going.
The scene shifts again as the woman is back in Barovia. The two other hunched figures are just sort of like breathing heavily. You see them pull back their hoods, and the skin is wrong. The mouth is up at an angle. The features are pulled back. And as she breathes outward, that same light that she got off of Etheria enters the room and feeds the other two as the skin shifts, face like fixes. They start becoming a little younger in front of your eyes as the woman goes, "Found her." And your legend lore stops.
Winifred, no.
We can't go.
What?
We can't go. They're after Etheria.
Okay, we won't go.
There might be.
if they're
I've
after
never been here
Ophelia, then we
before.
should. That's more reason we should go, right?
There might be more children. They're using them to be younger.
They have other children. We definitely have to go then.
Wait, are you just saying that they're after me because they're after kids?
They were. When you were at the circus, was there a lady that came up to you and tried to drag you away from the circus?
Wisdom save.
Oh, crap.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Judas, no.
Judas, no.
It's 15.
Magnolia's wearing the necklace.
Now?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Patches is wearing the necklace.
She's just backing up.
Furious?
What's wrong?
What's going on?
Connie's wearing the necklace.
The necklaces, where did you get the necklaces?
Pyre's wearing the necklace.
She wore the necklace.
What
Where did you get the?
necklace?
Did you take the necklace from her? Did she leave the necklace?
It's a bow tie.
They're not wearing the necklace anymore.
Hey, sweetheart. Hey, look at me.
What's going on?
What's wrong?
Roll a D100 as your mother has just bought you a wild magic surge. As the magic within Ophelia
This could be terrible.
start to flip out as she starts going.
It's a 68.
Okay, as Ophelia's magic begins to bubble up inside of her at this point, and you all start to see it build. Like you start to see this, and the magic that sort of travels with Ophelia, that wild bits of magic start to collect around her fingers, start to like crawl up and down her body. Yes.
Pyre's gonna bring stuff to Archie out and give it to Etheria and say, Etheria, hold on to this.
Okay, Ophelia, you hold on to Archie. You feel that fear start to subside. But there's magic coming at you, and it's coming out of your pores. Like your body's having a visceral reaction to having gotten past this. Are you directing it inward or outward?
She's breathing. Outward.
68 outward.
Yes.
Hold on to it. Think of it.
Because
Feel the
she's pushing,
Oh,
so
man.
any magic that would hit her would push off of
Yes.
her.
Who's taking the hit?
I'll take it. We don't. It's alright, man. It's alright.
Ophelia goes and sends her arms outward, and Patches goes, "It's all right. I take the hit of the circus. I'm taking the hit for you." Patches, the minute you get hit, your eyes just kind of glaze over for a second. Who's the first person that you look at, other than Ophelia, in the room? You come back to being, and your heart is just going.
Instinctively.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah. Connie.
Bro. Connie looks good. Like as all of a sudden, like Connie, baby, you got what I need. Like as Connie looks good. Like you don't know if he's working out, if he's just seeing him in protective mode or something like that. Like.
There was something you was sharing. What's going on?
What?
Yeah.
No. Nothing different.
Keep it up.
Thanks. Well, I mean, I did.
I'm gonna walk this off.
Give me a stealth check.
Hey, surprisingly, being 7.5 foot tall, I have proficiency in this. It's 12.
Yeah. You just go, I need a minute. As you walk out, you get some fresh air. Chance looks over at you and goes, "Are you?
Am I what?
I love you. You're perfect to me.
What are you talking about?
I have friends that are furries. And there is nothing. We are all God's children in the dark.
Stan.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. There's no.
Hey, all the closets in this house are unlocked. So you take as long as you need. And anything you want, you just open it up. You understand me?
No, but okay.
All right. And he gives you a little wink, and he goes,
Connie doesn't know it.
exactly. And he looks over at Patches. He's like, I see it. That's Patches. You just take a few steps away. I see it. I get it. Yeah, Patrick, you just take a few steps and you go get some cold water and stuff like that.
That's fun.
I'll let you know when this ends.
Oh, fantastic! It's gonna be great.
There's a set amount,
Oh, great! Fantastic.
but you're digging on Connie, man.
Yeah, like, there's worse.
The magic's calling, whatever sort of thing, you're able to breathe through it and things of that sort. So
Fire's assisting.
yeah.
The pearls look like the pearls that the Pearl Lady wore. The Pearl Lady kept coming to the camp for a long time, a few times. She tried to take me, and she tried to talk me into going. But then when I wouldn't go, she would try to take me.
Okay.
And I thought she was gone.
Did any of us see this ever?
No.
This would have been in the camp, and Parnham knew, but the only other person who knew isn't here tonight.
Buddy.
No.
Because I would kind of perch in his branches, and we would hang out, and we would keep an eye out for her.
Oh, being security though.
Yeah.
You would have been told, all you would know was to keep an eye out on an older woman who was walking around in a dress, and you're like, how do I know who she is? She's like, Parnham said that her appearance is going to change, but she's always an older lady, and she's always wearing a set of white pearls. And as she goes the necklace, you harken back to the vision and hear the clink clink and her grabbing her throat and stuff like that.
Connie,
Yeah.
do you have Pardon's staff?
No, I have the hat, the jacket.
Do we know
Maybe.
where it is?
Hold on. I think about Mr. Parnham's staff, and I reach into the hat.
Oh, I've waited like 15 episodes for this.
Oh no.
Sword of God, you're Gryffindor.
As Connie reaches into the hat of holding, and just like a bag of holding, you have to think about what you're pulling out of the bag in order to access it. As Connie pulls out Mr. Parnham's circus ringmaster staff.
Fantastic.
Oh, I guess I do have it. Cool.
When
The
did
staff
you
is
with it?
golden in appearance, with a tiny crystal in it at the very top of it. That as you think about it and just give thoughts, the staff's color changes in your hand. It just changes different colors and things of that sort.
Do I need to take some time to attune to it?
You will have to take time to attune to it.
I'm gonna need some time.
When
with this.
Parnham hit her with it, it blistered and hurt her skin really bad. So that might be a good thing to have.
All right, I'm gonna need a little bit of time with this, and then we're gonna go find the Pearl Lady, and we're gonna fuck her up. Destroy her.
I'm still not used to you cursing. I'm really
How-
weird.
It's weird.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I was actually about to ask, are you okay there? Yeah? Hold on to Archie. It'll help.
Okay, thank you. No, because I mean it's weird that she's here because she was always in the place we were before and not here. So it makes me wonder if she was here first, and then if so, how we ended up here, and if it was coincidence or if she knew that we were going to be here all along, or I don't know. It gets really, really confusing, but I think we should probably go.
Wait, so you saw her in the other planes
4
before we
times.
came to this
Four times.
Was there
The
anything
first time she
connected?
pretended to be my mom, which was kind of stupid
Rude.
because she's way too old to be my mom.
Yeah.
And that didn't work, obviously. Anyway.
Was there anything connecting the places that we were at, or were they all completely random? And she
Oh, they
showed
were
you
all
everything?
completely different.
I think one of our next steps is to find out what Mr. Parnham was hiding from all of us.
I have his journal.
Hiding?
He knew everyone from here. Strahd talked to him directly when we crashed.
It's true. That's something that happened.
Strahd knew Mr. Parnham.
Yeah.
The
He
first time I
has-
met her was the first time that I met the cat that we met here.
Cheshire.
That's his name?
Yeah, that's what he told me. He's really nice.
I think I messed up when I said his name, right? Or did I know his name? Maybe I did know his name. I do know his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know his name was Cheshire at the time, but he looked like him. And that's the first time I met him, was the first time I ran away from her. And he's here, and she's here, and hang on a minute.
Wait, you met him when you met her?
Well, I ran away from her, but then I met him.
Chance goes and gets a piece of paper and just starts like, I'm sorry, Pearl Lady, Cheshire, like, could we get dolls or something to like represent, just so I'm like, okay, no, that's perfect, thank you very much. The pressing matter is this: are you? If you want to go to the windmill, it seems like there are answers there, right? Especially if they're doing what to Etheria, what they did to the other wee ones, right?
Yes.
Do you know which are the small ones? Which are the...
No.
No. Do you know anyone in town who's been affected by this? It seems like it would be a really big deal, but everyone seems pretty
They might
normal.
only. She asked if they had.
No
parents.
one has reported children missing
It might
from
not-
town, other than the ones you all rescued not too long ago.
So
How
nobody
many-
in this town?
How many orphans are?
Yeah, no, probably a fair amount, but I tend to know everyone in town. I'm telling you right now, there is not a mass exodus of missing children that weren't the ones that you just returned.
Not from here.
Not from here.
Can we communicate with the
Are there other
Vishnani?
towns?
Vishnani?
There are plenty of other towns. He goes, oh, damn. They have the necklace. They have the necklace. He goes, wait, and he goes and grabs like a book from the shelf. He goes, the pearls, right? Did they look like this? And he takes it up and he holds it up like this, and it looks like a set of pearls.
Okay.
And he goes, she was wearing the pearls backward. I think we can get you all back home if you are interested. If she was wearing the pearls backward, it wasn't pearls. It was this. It was an amulet to travel. It's a way to traverse and go to other places. But if we go to the windmill and we destroy it, like, I can go home, you can go, we can all go home. Maybe they're not pulling from here because it encroaches on another predator's feeding. Maybe they're going to another savanna.
They got kids from
places.
other places.
And nobody else was fighting them that we know of, but Ember took a bite out of one of them and they ran away. So, and we weren't even there, which means that if Ember can fight them and we can all fight them, then we could probably...
Ember said that it grew back. So whatever these things are, I think they can regenerate.
We all kind
I
of.
got things that can help stop that.
So we cut them into little pieces and put all of the pieces.
Or we just burn the
Went to
windmill
different
down
places.
Hey, guys.
with them in
What
it.
if the children are in there?
Hey,
Yeah,
guys.
what if the children?
Right, kids.
Hey,
Yes,
guys.
Patrick?
All right.
So
Welcome back. Are you feeling better?
you know, it's I'm dealing with some stuff going on here.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna throw this out here. This might be pertinent information to ask now instead of when we're there. Did we find out what? Like, obviously we know the cause of what happened outside, but do we know who was outside? Like, it seems a lot of viscera and a lot of
Yeah,
Yes,
who
goop.
died?
Well, there's
and then
lots
looks
of
over at
death.
Chance. He goes, "What about your servants? How about them?"
They don't talk. They're invisible.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure everyone's all right. Like, that just seems like a lot
They're
of.
magical servants, unseen.
Yeah, but that just seems like a lot of.
Yeah, no one in the town is affected by whatever happened
And you,
outside.
and you
Yeah,
missed it, yeah?
there's a pretty firm don't ask, don't like.
You know, like
Y-
CCTV
y-
outside where
you-
we can just like
You
watch
all
the
are.
video.
You forget that you're all walking around with powers of the divine and magic and things of that sort, and are able to set your body on fire at any given notice. But most people are just regular people walking around.
Is there any?
Now, I'll be honest with you. You have a couple of options here. You can do this, and I believe in you, Connie. If you feel like you can go forth and tackle this problem head on, that's fine. There are allies here and people you might be able to convince. I could have a get together tomorrow night, and you could try to find a few more allies to go and
Having
give
a
them
few more people might be.
give
I
them
say that one.
give them the same speech you gave to me and sort of beat me over the head with.
But you
know.
could also talk to them as well, since you are their beloved, trusted mayor.
Does the
I-
knight know anything about your skeleton friend? Does he know anything about the
I
How's
don't
he doing?
think
Does he want waffles too?
So Terry?
Yes.
Where is
Pull it out and ask him.
Yeah.
Well, also,
Yeah.
you seem to know a lot about everyone in this town, so...
Oh, I do, and
So-
I'd be happy to assist you, but they're used to me talking with them, and I'm pot committed. I promised Connie I will change my tune. I just want you to know the louder I am about this, the quicker it gets back to Strahd. So I'm with you 100%. If you want me to come out tomorrow and start yelling from the rooftops down with the oligarchy, that's fine.
No.
But
I was thinking something a bit more subtle.
I'm fine with subtle. I work best under subtle.
No, because honestly, still not quite sure. But if you are going to assist with us, I think it's better that Strahd still thinks you're on his side. I think it'd be stupid, honestly, for him to come out against him. We need an ally who Strahd thinks is on his side.
Do you have a crush on me?
Absolutely not. I still don't.
There's a
even know
thing
exactly
here, isn't there?
No,
Is
you
this why
have a
you're coming at me
fiancé
so
who's
hard?
very-
And so
No. First of all, you look exactly like your dad. That's a lot to unpack.
we're in
Second
an
of all,
open, godly relationship, so you don't really
very-
need to
Listen, she is I'm not quite sure exactly who
Alright.
it is, but I think I have a very good idea who you're betrothed to. I do not wish to be
This
on her bad side.
explains.
Oh, they're lovely.
This explains so much of how you're acting towards
Does
me.
not at all. I want to actually. No, I'm not going to say that in front of your betrothed.
No, that's fine. A party of sorts where you can meet individuals and things of that sort. Yeah, I can do that. Do you have fancy dress?
What?
You bring out Terry. Hello. This is the most character voices I've done in any given session of D&D. They're so very different.
Hello.
Hi. How's
Hi.
it going?
Great. Oh, do you want to see what happened outside? It was really gross.
Yes.
Okay. She goes outside and she
Goes to a
shows him,
window. It's like.
Just walk up to the window.
Sure. I mean, she would probably open the
Yeah.
door so she
Yeah.
could get a really good view.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Looks like a meteor made of meat.
I know.
Just
Anyway.
crashed into the ground.
And supposedly it was done by 3 old ladies, and one of them had a pearl necklace, and they're like, the coven, and it's like terrible. I mean,
Oh dear.
Yeah. Anyway, do you know anything about them?
Well, I've met hags before, and they're very powerful magic users. Most of them
Figured that out.
solitary.
Yes. Oh no, there's 3 of them together, and
Oh,
also
dear.
they kidnap children. They tried to kidnap me, or one of them, a whole bunch of times.
Let's
But-
sally forth and fix what's wrong.
I love his attitude. To it.
Okay.
What's the worst that can happen? I'm already dead.
Well, we're not.
Oh, that's.
Very.
You know what? When you're right, you're right.
Okay. I mean, this is a great idea, but also I think we're going to a party first. I know it's confusing.
A party! Yay!
We're getting
I
allies.
bet
to fight with
that-
us.
I bet they're going to have apps.
Appetizers.
That's appetizers. That's what I call appetizers.
Like charcuterie.
Yes.
I
That's
love
my
cute
favorite.
shirts.
Like meats and cheeses and
Oh,
olives.
food.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Yes.
Got it. Desserts.
Magnolia slowly realizing he's probably the only one who's been to a proper club party.
Okay.
Wrong group.
God.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I have an idea for my fancy dress then, okay? So that you can go too.
Hooray!
I can make.
Please
I
put
can
him
make
like, oh,
outfits, but I
like a
need
broom.
supplies. Brooch.
Chance goes, there's a few individuals. So, big fancy dress party. Your job is to meet the individuals of Barovia, be very subtle about whispers of revolution against Baron von Strahd.
Subtle.
And how about this? We'll say that we'll come up with cover stories for everyone here, all right? To explain why you're here and what you're doing here. If you're fine with it, we grew up together. I've always talked about the woman that grew up with the two of us. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be her specifically, but just the one that grew up with. You seem like the rough and tumble sort. Perhaps you're added security for the party. Would that be fine?
Yeah. That's
All right. You're my brother. I talk about you constantly. Perhaps you're my niece from far away.
It doesn't quite go with my costume.
Are we? Are I?
Well, it's a fancy dress party. Do you have a black cloak?
I'm afraid to say yes. Oh, it is a fancy dress.
Is it a fancy black cloak?
Aren't you going to wear a dress?
No.
He's got cut.
You know what?
Okay.
Surprise me. Don't. Yes, I've got a cloak for you.
That's fun for you.
And just let me know who you're going to be at the party.
Terror for me.
And you can be my date. So we'll just say these are all the different characters that we're going to put on. I will summon forth. There's two individuals that can help you. One that sort of concentrates more on fancy dress, but if you want to go a little more flashy, I've got another individual that you can talk to as well. I'll bring them. I'll summon them to the house today. You can speak with them. You can design what you want. The servants will be here. You'll get to meet some of the more enigmatic characters that live here in Barovia, and who knows, maybe you'll run into an ally of sorts that you can bring with you against the witches. Just please, discretion is the better part of valor in this situation. If you say something to the wrong individual, they could run off and tattle on us to daddy. But if they don't, you could have a very powerful ally in your back pocket. So just try to read people as best as you can.
We are super good at discretion.
Yeah.
Fine. I will go and summon them forth. Should we make it a costume party, or you find
That would probably be best.
A costume
to be
party.
honest. That way, Theria can do whatever she wants to do. I can make a dress entirely out of fire.
Oh goodness.
I'm gonna keep
Wooden
it.
house.
I'm going to keep it
Yeah.
dress as you want. Dress as you want. Most will just lean towards fancy. All right. Food. There we are. I will take care of this. And start the process of getting everything ready to make an ally. You got a day's time, and then I would start heading towards the windmill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that staff and identify it.
You
And try to attune to it then.
Yeah. You hold Parnham's staff that he's had for a very long time, as all of you begin to search for black cloaks and begin to wonder what exactly.
Is the rock thing that you had still here?
Yeah. It's here.
Didn't you say that you were going to destroy it? I guess Ifiri would also at some point. Sorry, that's attention. All of this is me as a person. and
No,
also
go ahead.
Ifiria.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, please.
It's okay.
No, go.
Weren't you going to destroy that rock thingy?
That is something that I'm still working on. I'm not going to destroy it at this moment. However, I've been giving some thought to it. And from what I understand, if I destroy this now, the sacred flames of my people will return to a point in time where they have it before everything that happened. And that will happen pretty much at any time if I decide to do it now, if I decide to do it a week from now, a month from now. And there is an entire country of people who are being run by a dictator who is taking away their freedoms, who is controlling them, who's taking away everything that makes them them. And perhaps these flames can get another life before I return them to the old ones, of being a symbol of freedom, a symbol of rebellion, for when they see them perhaps they'll give hope.
But the other people don't know that they're here.
Not yet,
So you're going to tell them that they're here?
perhaps.
Okay. And then they have to stay in the house?
No, they don't.
Oh, you can take them?
If I choose to.
Oh. I mean, it's really big, though. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it is. However, this is a very sensitive thing. Very, very sensitive thing that I'm personally going through at the moment. And if you'd like me to discuss what I'm going to do with it right now, we can.
I mean, you don't have to, but I was just, you seemed like you thought the right thing to do was to destroy it, so I was just confused.
If you'd like me to destroy it.
Well, no, I mean, it's really nice to be myself again.
Well, look, the thing is, if I destroy it, everything that is me could go away with it.
While this conversation is happening, Chance sort of saddles up to you and be like, it's so weird for them to talk about it like it's not mine. It's like somebody talking about like destroying your sofa, like while they're in your living room.
Father stole it from a civilization.
I retract the statement.
There we go.
And then back up a little bit.
So you're going to keep it here until we're done here, and then you're going to return it to your people?
I've not decided yet. Personally, I'd prefer to not discuss it at the moment.
Because you might die, and then if you died, you wouldn't be able to break it, and it would be stuck here forever, and it would never return to your people.
No, it's worse than death.
What's worse than death? Oh, that. Not having it return.
No, losing everything about who you are.
Oh, like if you return it now, you die, or you just become somebody different?
Jeez.
Is it really something you want to discuss right now?
Well, it's really interesting.
Okay.
Like, would you look different? Would you look like a purple dragon or something?
No, my flames would go out forever.
Oh, you would look like you, but not fiery.
Yeah, except I wouldn't be anyone who I am now.
Oh.
And I'd lose literally everything about me. My personality, everything who I stand for would be gone.
So regardless, you're going to lose everything about you. It's just whether it happens now or it happens when we're done here.
I don't know. I'm choosing not to break it because of all of you, but right now I'm really thinking about breaking it.
Okay, I was just asking. Sorry. But now I'm thinking about the fact that no matter what you do, you're going to lose all of your fire.
Yeah, well, that's my cross to bear for
That
what
stinks.
I did. Yeah, it really does.
Gosh. Okay.
I'm not breaking it right now.
Are you
because
sleeping
of all of you.
okay?
No, I'm not. I'm literally not sleeping, and when I do decide to sleep, someone else takes over.
Well.
That was agreed upon.
Yes, Ember, we know.
Okay, just throwing it out there.
All right. Would it be better if I stopped talking about this now?
At this moment, probably.
Okay.
Yes, Bubba.
I'm just waiting for the he's gonna wait till everyone comes down. How concerned are we about the witches or the hags right now?
A 9.
Like a 9 on a scale of 10?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little more confident holding this thing. So
Okay.
He looks good with it.
I bet he does. That's colors really bring out the eyes.
thanks. I really like it.
Take your
Very
inspiration.
cool.
As Patch's comments on how good the staff looks in your hand, you agree with them. Like, it's a good fit.
So I have a theory. I have a thought. Don't give any of those, but I think I can I think I can actually help on this one. And he looks at Affy and goes, They jump places, yeah? They go from here to where we came from and stuff along those lines?
Well, at least one of them does.
At least one of them does.
Everyone looks at the DM.
Yeah, buddy?
Okay.
Is it like the eye? Like which one has the eye?
Yeah. You're never getting on there.
Just grab it and run it over.
For the sake of transparency, because
Yeah.
I know we're talking deals and I don't want to catch anybody, off the side or whatever it might be. I think I might be able to stop them from doing it temporarily, or at least know when they do it.
That's great.
Is it by breaking the
listen.
necklace?
Listen. That is, I worry about you because if you
Con save.
I'm sorry. The two of them. I knew this was coming.
It's not a bad concept, actually.
It's like a 20.
Look, if you choose to fail.
No, 19. I want to hold this together.
Yeah. You do not take your other hand and place it on top.
Higher should.
I worry maybe you shouldn't call on the dark gift so much until it's a real emergency, because what it did to that other house and
Yeah.
maybe we should wait until a last resort. I worry about it maybe taking over you and hurting you. We don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Hey man, this is great. But I think you're getting the opposite response of what I'm gonna say. Because now I want to do it more because it protects people. But how about this? I'll meet you guys in the middle. I still think it's good to have eyes, at least watching. How about instead, I could do one or the other. I'll let you guys choose. I can ask to watch witches, or I probably can ask maybe if there's whispers, maybe Strahd finding out what we're doing.
I'm going to be very honest. I really don't know exactly what your deal was, and I care more about you than your.
I made a deal that made it so I might not be able to go back where we came from, and that's fine.
And the more you use it, the less of a chance you have of coming back.
I think that fate was sealed when I shook the hand or the eye stalk.
Okay. The eye stalk.
Yeah.
As he says that, Chance's like, I feel like this is my time to go.
You can hang out for that.
No, I'm gonna
You
go
sure?
get the
No,
clothing
you
guys
have
and
also your
some-
thing going
The
on,
whole
so I really feel
family
like you
thing
fit
I
in.
was there for. So I feel it's fair if you hang out for my.
No, I'm done. I'm gonna
You
go
had
get
waffles,
the.
though.
I did have waffles. They were very good.
This
I'm
is
gonna,
what you signed up for. You're part of it now. So.
Oh, yeah, let's not go that far.
Yeah, you want to
he
trust.
says,
You've
he
got
goes,
it. You're part of the team.
All right, I'm gonna go get the clothing, clothiers,
Yeah.
and summon them and things of that sort. Just.
But I'm not doing anything that I wasn't doing at the circus. Just
Yeah,
keeping eyes and ears out. And
The more you put yourself at risk with this, I mean, we have other ways of spying if
I
that's
know,
what you want.
but you have.
I have gear, Mom.
You have gear, Mom, which
I
is
can
great.
summon a lot of different creatures to go look at.
Which is great, but we all sign our stuff. You have your thing at whatever time, and that's a great time.
He's got a name, Ember.
Amber, I'm sorry, I missed that one. That was on me.
It's okay. His name is Ember, everyone. Or her name. Their name.
Their
Not
name.
controversial.
Ember, what are your pronouns?
They, them,
There you go. Their name is...
or predator.
And,
We'll
and,
stick with this
and,
today.
and this is a thought for everyone as far as their little gifts go. We
Yeah.
signed a commitment.
Yeah.
Why not make it worth the commitment that we signed?
I agree with that, but no need to take unnecessary risks we don't need to.
Yeah, I think
It's only a day.
alright.
Let's just hang out.
But it's good
We'll go
that
to
we
a
have that
party
option.
tonight.
That's fine.
I'm gonna figure out how to use this staff, and then tomorrow we'll go and kill some old ladies.
Yay! Fancy
We're
dress
having a
party!
party tomorrow, and then we're going to kill.
And there'll be charcuterie.
I'd rather-
She looks over at Chance.
I wouldn't want to be
Chance is
anywhere
gone.
else.
Chance left.
Patches just starts rubbing your shoulder a little bit as he puts the hand up, and like it's just one of those, and then he does the small circles on the upper back. You know what I mean? Just as you're. It's there, and it's just, it feels right.
For a nap.
As you all go to take a bit of a rest, you identify the staff that you hold in your hand. You look over towards the fire. You feel the newfound energy within you, Etheria, as you are finally putting to rest your boogeyman. As you are sort of gearing off towards that, you get an affirmative. In your head, and you cast Identify on Parnham's staff, and as you do, Identify tells you the components that make up the magical item that you hold in your hand, and as you begin to identify what's inside of it, you catch that the staff is wrapped around a soul shard. The soul shard containing a portion of the soul of Parnham himself.
He was our lich the whole time.
And that is where we are ending tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, next week is a fancy dress party.
It's perfect for this group.
You are permitted and will receive a D6 to add to all rolls should you come in costume. Should you come in the outfit that your character might wear, should you...
Lord.
I know it's hard. It can be makeup. It can be your best effort foot forward. You do not have to do this, but rewards will be heaped upon you should you choose to celebrate this fancy dress as best you can. I
Some horns.
will provide biscuits. I will provide a little bit of tea, as it were, as you will be having a fancy dress party.
Okay.
We will even do a charcuterie.
My morning to mine is going to be really weird, but I can
It's going to be weird. But all of that being said, you are cordially, all of you invited to the Burgermeister's mansion as the sign is cleaned out front and you see Downton Abbey sort of on the sign out front as you are invited to a Downton Abbey very exclusive VIP party next week. All of you
Strahd's
love
definitely
it.
not going to show up too.
That's Strahd's definitely not going to show up to. We love you so much. Indigo Connect, thank you players for doing all the good stuff you did tonight. Heart hands out. Remember, you can be anything you want to be except for Strahd, because Strahd
Sucks.
yeah, who's coming dressed as fries? Yeah!